morning? Awesome, awesome. Well, I'm so excited to talk to you today about social media. I'm so passionate about social media. This is the one thing, the tool that we all have that I feel really makes a huge impact on your business if you can do it effectively. And so the deal with social media is that it's this incredible tool that can help you reach thousands more people than you normally would just face to face. Yet it's a skill, right? So the good news about that is that anyone can do this. If I can do this, anyone can do this, trust me. I am not a social media guru by any means, and there are so many of you out in the audience who do social media so much better than I do. But I do want to share with you what's worked for me and what works for a lot of my leaders, and a way that you can really leverage social media. But it's awkward at first, right? When you're brand new on one of the social media platforms and you don't fully know what you're doing, it can be really awkward. Like, think back the first time you got on Instagram, maybe the first time you got on Facebook. Funny story, when my mom, I love my mom, best mom in the world, right? Love her to pieces, love you mom. She's one of my diamond coaches, but I remember when she first got on Facebook and she didn't know the difference between replying to someone's post as a comment and her own status update. As you can imagine, that can be a real problem. So she would see a girlfriend post, just went to a concert last night, had such a blast, and she'd be like, Sue, that sounds like so much fun. Where did you and Dan stay? Will you be at the golf course tomorrow? We'll pick up the soup later. That was her status. So I would see these things come across the newsfeed and I'm like, Mom. But you know, you just don't know at first, right? You don't have it all figured out. We're not born knowing how to use social media. It's something that takes practice, it takes some knowledge, and you have to be willing to be a little bit awkward at first and make some mistakes. When you're a business owner, you have to be willing to go outside your comfort zone and make some mistakes and screw some things up, right? But it's just social media, right? No big deal. I was no different. I have to tell you a little bit about my social media beginnings. When I first started as a coach, I actually wasn't on social media. Or if I was, I certainly wasn't using it. I actually became diamond before I was ever using social media. My diamond status came from just friends and family, coworkers, people I went to school with, just my inner circle, right? So I was not leveraging social media. And so one day a friend said, you really should get on Facebook, it's fun. So I did it, not to leverage my business. And so I didn't have a profile picture because I can't stand to have my picture taken. Don't like to see pictures of myself, so I was like, no, I'm not gonna have a profile picture. I had just a few friends on Facebook, and I would see some friend requests coming in, but I would just ignore those, right? Because if it wasn't someone I really, really knew, that I didn't accept them. And I feel that a lot of us that are bringing new coaches onto our teams, that's their mentality, right? Because it's not a part of, you know, a big part of their life. And so they maybe don't have a profile picture or not one that's anything significant. And they maybe aren't accepting friend requests of people that they're not really, you know, intimate with. So that was where I was with social media. But I was working my business and I was very passionate about making my business work. I wanted my business to work for myself, for my family. I was working full-time. I was very stressed out at the time. I actually was building my business for 2 years while working full-time. I wanted this to work. I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom and wanted to have my own schedule for myself, for my son. I wanted to be able to retire my husband. I wanted all these great things. Fitness was my passion. I wanted fitness to be my full-time gig, right? I wanted all these things so badly, and I wanted to be able to help thousands of people, right? But I wanted to do it underneath my little comfortable shell. I wanted to stay in my comfort zone. I was just hoping that I could do that and still make this business work. And you have to step outside your comfort zone. You have to build a network of like-minded people, and it becomes so rewarding once you realize how to do that. But I was in the kitchen one day with Shalene, visiting, and we're talking, and you know, Shalene obviously is a social media guru. I follow her, by the way, on social media trainings. And a lot of what I'm going to talk to you about today, I've learned from my sister, by the way. And so we're talking in the kitchen, and she says, okay, so you're using Facebook to build your business, right? And I said, well, no, not really. She's like, what? You're in network marketing. You're not using your Facebook page to like build your business? And I was like, no, I don't even know where to begin. I don't know what to do. And so, of course, right away, big sister, she, logs into Facebook, and she looks at my profile picture, and she's like, dude, you can't have that as a profile picture. I had a hat on, because I love my hats, they're like my security blanket, over my eyes, and it's like from a distance, and I'm facing sideways, so you can't even see who I am, right? And she's like, when you're building a network, these people, that's fine for like us as family, we know that's you. And so think of it that way. Remember, some of these things you post in your profile picture, that's fine for family, they love that. But think about it as you're attracting a like-minded network. They don't know you that well yet. They need to see your face, they need to see your eyes, they need to see your smile. They need to know that you're approachable. And I thought, that is so true. And she said, well, now what about these friend requests? Why aren't you accepting these friend requests I see sitting out here? And I said, well, I don't really, I don't really know them. I mean, I kind of know who they are. She said, oh my gosh. You've got to accept these friend requests. You've got to get outside your comfort zone. So it was a big aha moment for me that I needed to work social media if I was going to grow my business. I always feel like getting to Diamond, you can maybe do without social media, but if you want to build a big business beyond Diamond, be able to, have a residual income and have a thriving business and be able to impact thousands of lives, you've got to step out of your comfort zone. So that was the big question for me. It was an obvious answer. Did I want to be able to help as many people as possible and really give it my all and be all in this business? Or did I want to stay in my comfortable bubble? Obviously, everything, my why in this business was much bigger than my fears. But I had to make a decision that it was. I had to make a conscious decision. And I feel like there are a lot of coaches that you have to make that decision, that your why is bigger than your comfort zone. So, in case you're not sold on how big of an impact social media can have on your business, and what a huge tool it is for us, I want you to watch this incredible video by Eric Qualman, a fellow Michigander. Great video, and this is on YouTube. Yeah, go Michigan. Please, Michigan State on U of M. Anyway, go blue. I remember Shalene did a training a few years back, you probably remember, Jen, and she showed a video like that by Eric Qualman, and I loved it, and it blew me away, and it did make me realize this is just absolutely huge, and it's been updated now, his video, because mobile, obviously, I mean, it's just huge. Raise your hand if you've got your phone nearby. Right? We all do. It's like we freak out if you can't find it for a second. So it's a big deal. But so one thing that a lot of my new coaches will say to me when they join is, I understand that social media is a big part of this, but I don't really use social media that much. Like I'm on Facebook, but I just post a few pictures of my kids and stuff, and I'm not really on it that much. And you know, I'm not really sure that I know how to do this. And you know, basically what it is they're in the same place where I was when I first started realizing I needed to use social media, and that was, it's changed, and it's different, and it's scary. And we usually don't like what we don't understand, right? So I just assure them that I'm going to give them the training, I'm going to give them the tools, but it's going to be a process. And a big problem is that we just have this fear of putting ourselves out there, this fear of how we'll be perceived. Will we be perceived as being too salesy? Will people be judgmental that we're a coach and maybe we don't feel like we're as fit as we want to be? You know, all these fears get in the way, right? But I think what will help you manage that fear is knowledge and passion and practice. I should have put practice in there too. Those three things. Having the knowledge of the different platforms that you're using. Because Facebook doesn't work the same as Instagram, okay? Not when you're brand new as a coach. You know, there's certain things on Facebook that you can put on your personal page that would be great, but won't work necessarily on Instagram, because Instagram, you need to stay very consistent with a certain theme. Otherwise, people will unfollow you. You can put a family picture, the kids and everything on Facebook personal page, but on Instagram, people are following you for a very specific reason, and if you have too much of that, the family photos, pictures of the dog, picture of the cat, they see that too often in that, you know, set of pictures, they won't follow you. So different things work on different platforms, so having that knowledge really can help overcome some of the fear and awkwardness that you experience when you're new on a platform. And the other thing is passion. Just knowing that your why is so big and who you want to help, and letting that be bigger than the fear. I remember when I first started, or when I was about to become a fitness instructor, and being that I'm, you know, shy and introvert, you know, that was going to be a scary thing, getting up in front of all these people and teaching a fitness class. But, I mean, I loved music, I loved fitness, I really wanted to help people in fitness. I had already been doing that naturally in high school, and for my track team, I would lead them through aerobic workouts. Like, I really felt good about that. I wanted to do that. I was just so afraid of putting myself out there. But then when I shifted my focus onto them and the class, and the fact that I was going to be upset if people weren't lifting their knees high enough and weren't squatting low enough, and I started to shift my focus on, were they having fun? Were they dripping in sweat? And I stopped thinking about me. And I shifted all my focus onto them. And that's what really helped me manage my fear. And so I want you to do that with social media as well. I want you to stop thinking about, but I'm not this, and I'm not that, and I don't look like this, and I don't know that. And just start thinking about what you do know and what you want them to know. And that'll help manage some of that fear. So I want to start with baby steps. And so I want to talk about your Facebook personal page, because I feel like most coaches coming into the business, they have usually, not always, but they usually have a Facebook personal page. They might not use it regularly, but they have one. And so one of the first things, and another reason why I start with Facebook is because a lot of these things apply to a lot of the other social media platforms. And I feel like the personal page, the profile page, is a great place to get your feet wet. Because when it comes to social media, it's going to be a process of figuring out what is your niche, What do people want to hear from you? What do you have to offer? What do they want to hear? And so personal page is a great place to do that. But one thing you have to have on a personal page is your profile picture and your cover banner. Right away. I don't care how new you are in coaching, do this right away. If you've got a notebook where you're taking down action steps, what does your profile picture and your cover banner look like? Even as I was going through my presentation, I was like, oh, mine's not good enough. I'm going to change it. I'm going to change mine. I changed my life page last night. I updated that. But your profile picture and your cover banner really need to right away say that you are confident and you're happy, and it needs to say something about who you are. Just as a good example of a cover banner, Melanie Mitchell. Write that down, Melanie Mitchell, because you're not checking right now, right? You're all like, Melanie Mitchell. She has a great cover banner. Chelsea Pearson, I haven't looked at it recently, but usually she has a great cover banner. She's great with social media. So check those out. It really just very simply, it's not too busy, you know, not too busy. Like right now, I feel like mine's too busy. Not too busy, but just says what you're all about. And then the profile picture, of course, needs to be, they need to be able to see your face, a smiling face, right? It's so funny when you're, you know, as you saw from the video, most people are on their phones, right? And so you can't see very well, right? And so when you're friend requesting people or you're in a Facebook group of some type and you're trying to make connections, if someone can't see what your picture is and they're on their phone, they're not going to accept your friend request. I mean, I've had times where I'm like, okay, is this a girl holding a machete? Okay, I'm not accepting this friend request. We are not going to be friends. And then I'm like, she's holding a champagne glass. We can be friends. It's just a champagne glass. A little champagne, not a machete. But when people are on their phones, they can't really see. So you've got to make sure that you've got a clear headshot. The other thing is you don't want to post and run. So I need to explain real quickly, in case you don't know, and I explain this to my coaches when they come on board, how Facebook works behind the scenes. Again, I'm not a social media expert, so I hope I don't say this incorrectly, but basically when someone logs into, when you post something, okay, right now, when you post something, Facebook behind the scenes says, okay, Jenelle, let's say you've got 200 Facebook friends. Of those 200 Facebook friends, how many are logging into Facebook right now? Okay, so let's say out of those 200, maybe there's 20 that are logging in right now. And then Facebook says, okay, of that 20, how many do you normally interact with? You like on their stuff, they like on your stuff, you normally have interactions with, out of these 20, how many do you normally interact with? Maybe out of that 20, there's only 3 that you normally interact with. So then Facebook says, okay, we'll bring your post to those 3 people's newsfeed. And imagine those 3 people, like one of them's in the grocery store going like this scrolling, right? Another person's driving and they're like at a light and checking real quick. If those 3 people don't like or comment on your post right away, Facebook says, I don't know what you just posted, but it wasn't very relevant. And so we're not going to bring it to anyone else's newsfeed. And so then you get crickets on a post that you think is pretty good, and then you're thinking, none of my friends or family care. They don't care about fitness. They don't care about health. And that's not it. First of all, the 3 people might not have been people that you really wanted to see anyways. You know, sometimes you do a post and you're like, gosh, I really hope so-and-so sees this. She needs to see this. I know that this will inspire her or whatever. So that's how it works. What happens is if you have activity on a post right away, it starts to get some more news feeds over the next hour, over the next 3 hours, over the next day, sometimes for 3 days, if it continues to have activity. So the posts that always go viral, we all know, puppies, babies, right? Weddings, things like that, they just go off, right? So in order to get more activity on a thread, what you need to do is not just post and then go off and do your thing, but check that post. And if someone comments, tag them back right away and give them a comment. Give your own post some activity. Your comments count as activity. So even if you're like, thank you, Sarah, that was so sweet, and then you say, by the way, Sarah, I mean, it'll look ridiculous if you have like 5 comments to poor Sarah, but I'm just saying, even you commenting back to people counts as activity on your post. And so Facebook keeps bringing it to more news feeds. So I remember the first time I tested this theory, and I posted about tipping on a takeout order. And it was a legitimate question I had. I was just curious, how do other people, what's the right percentage for a takeout order? And so I told them that, I said in the post, my little, first I said, how much do you tip? How much do you typically tip for a takeout order? And then I told my little story that had happened that night. And that post went viral because everyone wanted to give their opinion on what is the right amount to tip on a takeout order. And people even started like arguing back and forth, people in the service industry. Some people saying, I don't tip unless I get served, and if someone's not bringing me waters, I'm not tipping. I mean, it kind of got out of control, but it went on for like 2 days. I could tell people were still seeing it in their newsfeed 2 days later because they were commenting on it, and it was because it was landing in their newsfeed. Went viral. It's just an example. And so why is this important? Why am I telling you this? Why would we want a random post about tipping to go viral? Why would we care? Here's why. Of your friends and family, co-workers, relatives, neighbors that are on your Facebook, there are people every day where that switch is flipping for them, and they are ready to make a change and get fit. And you're not going to know when that happens. But you need to be on their radar when that happens. You want to be the one that they know, like, and trust. And they've seen you. You've been on their radar because they see your posts because you have such amazing posts, right? Even if they are random and just funny sometimes. But you're on their radar. The more I post, the more I'm on people's radar. So even if I'm posting about our new puppy, I'll get inbox messages saying, hey, by the way, do you have a challenge group starting? I've just realized I need to do something now. So that's why I'm telling you about that. Post 3 times a day. To bring up your affinity, your edge rank in Facebook, you've got to be very consistent. So you're always hearing this, be consistent, be consistent. A lot of times what we're referring to is your social media. I mean, because like I said, the more you're posting and the more you're on people's radar, the more inbox messages you get. And inbox messages lead to you figuring out what people's needs are. And when you know people's needs, that's when you're able to address and make suggestions for solutions. So it's this process that starts with posting, that comes down to some inbox messages, that comes down to knowing people's needs and building relationships in those inbox messages, and then helping them. So it's all part of that process. So post 3 times a day. I think we've mostly heard the best times are like 9 a.m., noon, and 9 p.m., roughly, somewhere in there. But don't feel so locked down in that you don't even post. You're like, it's 9 or 5, screw it. Miss the window. Or that you're like, your child's about to do something dangerous and you're like, hold on, I can't miss this window. Let it be. But generally speaking, morning, lunchtime, evening, good times. Involve them in legit questions and polls. Already talked to you about that and why that's so important. Consider your audience and the timing of your post. Okay, so this is very important too. So what I can post now that I've been doing this business for 7 years is different than what I could post when I was new as a coach, right? Because now I've gradually, but very consistently, built up a network of people that also like fitness. But when I was brand new as a coach and using my Facebook, I couldn't post at 6 a.m. and say, hey, everybody, what workout did you do today? Did you fit it in? I couldn't post that. I didn't have a network of people on Facebook that would say, I did Cheerlead Extreme or whatever. I know now my audience on my personal page are mostly coaches. Mostly all coaches. So I can post at 6 a.m. even and say, did you fit your workout in today? And I'll get a bunch of people who will say, yeah, I did Beachbody Stream, or I did, Turbofire or whatever, just because that I know that's my audience now. But in the past, like when I was first on Facebook, if I would just post a picture of my son, the post would do awesome. It changes as your audience grows and changes, right? So really keep that in mind. That's very important for new coaches to know, because what they're doing is they're looking at leading coaches and how they're posting, and they're like, why is that not working for me? This coach can post this and it just goes, crazy, and tons of people are like, yeah, sign me up, and then yet I can't do that. You have to consider your audience and the timing of your posts. Like I said, if people aren't logging on, if you're posting at 2 in the morning, just got my workout done, how about you? I mean, but some people don't know how Facebook works, and they think, well, people will see it in the morning. No, because come 8 a.m., their other friends have been posting at 7 a.m., and that's what they're going to see. So really consider the audience and the timing. Eye-catching original pictures. Okay, so this is not as important on your Facebook personal page as it is, I'm going to talk about it in a minute, with branding and attraction marketing on other social media platforms. But you do still want to get really good practice with making eye-catching pictures, okay? Because again, people are scrolling very fast and they're usually on a phone. And I think it's still working right now, this could change, that having a picture is really important with your posts. You'll notice, I don't think I hardly ever post without a picture. I will find a visual to go with it. Because usually I find that people won't even read the caption until the picture was something that they would stop on. So I always have a picture. Now, our eyes are always attracted to bright and white light, right? And contrast. So make sure that you have eye-catching pictures. Now, if they're stock photos, that's not going to go over very well, right? You can't just be using stock photos. It's got to be pictures of you. It's got to be pictures of you. So let's move on to a like page and what people are doing with like pages. Now, a like page, as you know, is a fan page. It's just the same thing as a personal page, except it has some different features, some really cool features. And it's the one place where you can do Facebook ads and Facebook scheduling of posts. So those are two really big benefits of a like page. Like pages also work well with Google. I was Googling pre-workout drinks. This was a while ago. And Danielle, her like page came up right away in Google. People can find you through Google search with like pages. So anyways, with a like page, it's the next step. You've kind of got your groove on your personal page. You've started to understand what people like, how to post, how to be consistent with it. You've kind of got this groove going. So sometimes people ask me, when's the right time to open up a like page, a fan page? It's different for everyone. If you already feel like you know what your message is, you know what your niche is, you know how to use Facebook on a consistent basis, then it's time. It's time. As soon as you're ready for that, it's time. It's also time once you are ready and willing to commit to the time investment and the financial investment in a like page. Because I do believe that you should do some Facebook ads if you're going to have a like page and you want it to build. So you have to have a cover, and you don't have to. I think it's effective to have a cover banner with an offer and invite. And my sister taught me this, of course. So let's see, I'm trying to think of a good example. Mindy Wender. So Facebook.com/Mindy Wender Fitness, one of my top coaches. She has an excellent cover banner. And it takes you to, she actually has some calls to action at the bottom of her like page. Check it out. Write that one down as a great example. Also, Anita Myron does too. I've noticed Anita Myron does. I think her like page is Get Fit with Anita? Get Fit Anita? Anita Fit? Anita Get Fit. Anita's already fit.
Anita Get Fit.
She's got a great one as well. But so what that does is, so if you do run an ad saying like my page, they like your page, and right away the first thing they're going to look at is your cover banner. And it says click here, and it brings them to join my challenge, or sign up for my recipe book, or sign up for something where you're collecting email addresses. You've heard over and over, I'm sure by now, you've got to be collecting email addresses as part of your list, because we don't own Facebook. Your Facebook could get shut down tomorrow, right? You've got to be collecting those email addresses so that you have a way of contact for these people. Videos of you. Videos work very well on a like page. Now, the algorithms are always changing on Facebook, okay? So you have to stay abreast of what's working and what's not. But videos uploaded directly from your phone work very well on a like page. It's a great way to get traction if you can do a video. Now, it's got to be a view though, right? You've got to do videos of you, because on a like page, you're now in this environment where you are branding yourself. And so it's got to be videos of you. It's got to be uploaded directly from your phone. And so using a YouTube link, that doesn't work as well. Facebook doesn't want to promote YouTube. So and this, by the way, is also true of your Facebook personal page. If you're putting in the caption of your post on your personal page or your like page, if you're putting a YouTube link, Facebook goes, not so much. We're not bringing that one to the news feed. So you hardly get any traction. I remember recently my dad posting a YouTube video on Facebook, and it didn't get a whole lot of traction. I said, Dad, you can't put the link in the caption. It doesn't make it to the news feed, you know, because he was bummed that no one said anything about it. Like, you gotta just say link in the comments or whatever. Caption. Now again, this stuff changes quickly, so stay abreast of what is working. Like, maybe it changed just recently and I don't know about it. Captions. Engaging trumps amazing. A lot of new coaches will say, well, I don't have a really outgoing life. I'm kind of a homebody, and I don't know if I can really, like, you know, do a like page and call myself a public figure and blah, blah, blah. Yes, you can. You're all public figures. You can all be a public figure. Open up this like page. It's very simple. You just go to someone else's like page and click create like page. And you just start loading up some pictures and posts and start inviting your friends and family to it. It's really not a big deal. Just start doing it. But engaging trumps amazing. Who do people like? People like the people who like them. That's who they like. They don't like perfection. They like progress, and they like people who are relatable, and they like people who are down to earth. That's who they like. So just be engaging. Social media is a two-way street. It's not, I'm going to talk at you, I'm going to preach statistics to you, I'm going to tell you to drink more water. That's not what your like page should be like. Your like page should be like you are trying to engage them in conversation. Let's talk. It's not like, I'm here, I'm the expert, and I'm going to talk at you. That's not your like page. Your like page is social. It's meant to be, let's talk. So you're engaging posts. They don't need to be amazing, just engaging. Invite friends and family consistently, but give them a reason to go to your like page. Like, hey, here's this awesome picture of this awesome, healthy cheesecake. Full recipe on my like page. You'll still have people on your personal page say, that looks amazing, blah, blah, blah. Just tell us what it is here. And sometimes the less information, the better, because then people will ask questions. And then some will go over to your like page and they'll comment over there on the recipe. Give them a reason to go there. Now, I talked about Facebook ads, but you can also get a lot of organic reach, in other words, non-paid, just doing premiums. Now, I don't have time to go into a whole freemium training, and Shalene does, so definitely follow her trainings. But a freemium is basically something you offer for free, and maybe it's in the form of a webinar, maybe it's in the form of a PDF, maybe it's just a checklist, maybe it's a video series, maybe it's an ebook. I have an ebook on JenelleSummers.com. I have an ebook. It's just a food inspiration ebook. Direct people, ask people who wants this freemium and say, place your email below. And a whole bunch of people will. Contests and videos, same type of thing. Now with the like page, you have to continue the jab, jab, hook, uppercut formula. And some of you are like, well, what is that? and you would want to do this on your personal page as well. But you've probably heard of the book Jab, 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 Right Hook by Gary Vaynerchuk. Write that down if you haven't heard that book yet or read that book. And it's an excellent book, and one of the things he talks about is your jabs are your inspiring content or your helpful content. It's your value that you're giving to them. Those are your jabs. And then the hook, those are the invites. So an invite to your challenge group, an invite to your sneak peek, or just an invite to the business opportunity. That's the hook, right? And then I added my own extra punch, one of my favorites, the uppercut, for the follow-up. Because if you're not doing follow-ups, forget about it. Everything happens in the follow-ups. People do not typically act on something until there's been like, I think the statistic is like 5 to 7 back and forth messages, but there's got to be a follow-up. If you just invite someone to something and they're interested, you can't just leave it there. There's got to be the follow-ups. You've got to be doing the uppercuts. I really feel like that's a battle you're not going to win if you don't have that combination. Jab, jab, hook, uppercut. And the uppercuts are in inbox messages. They're not what you see on social media. They're in emails and inbox messages. And then lastly, the Facebook boosts and ads. A lot of leaders you'll see are doing boosted posts and Facebook ads. Now I know you're thinking, well, I'm not making a lot of money in my business yet, some of you, and you might be thinking that stuff's scary to invest like that. But that's why I say get your practice on your personal page. Start to understand what your niche is and what works on posts so that you have a little bit of confidence in understanding what to post, and then start boosting some of your ads. Or boosting some of your posts or doing Facebook ads. Now that's a whole training in and of itself, that one little bullet. So I apologize for summarizing this one. But let me just say, if you were to do a Facebook post that you boosted for $100 every other month, so six times in a year, okay? And let's say, and it's about the business opportunity, joining your team or joining your sneak peek. And let's say each time you spent that $100 on that boosted ad over the course of a few days, let's say that it gained you about 30 really quality, great prospects, people that are like-minded with you, really would be great with coaching. And so out of those 30 people, statistically speaking, there'd probably be about 10 that would really follow through and become coaches. But imagine if you've got 10 new coaches every other month. Oh, there's Anita, hi. That's 60 new coaches. And usually out of every like 10 to 15 coaches, it seems like there's a diamond that just, boom, emerges. Someone that gets it, totally gets this. So that could be like 6 new diamonds. Wherever you're at right now, imagine if you had 6 diamonds by this time next year. 6 new diamonds. Would it be worth $600 to you? Believe me, it would be a great return on your investment. Because I know how that team bonus works, and it would be a great return on your investment. So think of it that way. It's not an expense, it's an investment. So branding. Lastly, I want to talk about branding. This is so big. People are like, what is my brand? And this is what I said. I'm like, oh, y'all taking pictures? Okay. I was like, what is my brand? I'm just a mom who loves fitness and talking about fitness, and like, I don't really have a brand. It took me the longest time to figure out what my brand was. I thought that it was going to be something I'd be able to write in like a short little sentence, but it's not. At least in my opinion, it's everything that you are. It's your style, it's your philosophy on things, it's the way you approach people, it's the way you care about people, it's your history, it's your story. It's all these things combined. But you have to figure out a way, and you have to practice developing your brand and giving brand awareness. In other words, getting yourself on the radar for more people, right? You've got to develop that. Just like any company has to build their brand and develop brand awareness. It takes time, it takes practice, it takes really honing in on that, it takes consistency. So you are your brand already. You just need to figure out what it is about you that really attracts people to you. Because when you're new as a coach, you're kind of finding people, and as you get more experience, you want to be attracting people. So know your strengths and just roll with it. It helps to visualize your target audience. It helps to stage your pictures and videos. I'm sure you've seen my sister doing her, legless out by the pool, right? It catches your eye, right? You want something that's appealing to the eye, and when you're branding, things have to look more professional and much more appealing to the eye. You don't need a pool. Just, go film a video out in front of, a school with a brick wall and nice white, sidewalk in front of it. There's lots of things just in nature that'll do the trick. Blow their mind with value and ease their mind with relatability. That goes without saying. Have original and professional looking content. You've got to up your game when you're branding. So now I'm talking about Instagram. I'm talking about the like page, of course. Pinterest. You really got to take that extra effort. It's not just going to be one little picture and that's going to work. Sometimes. But you got to put a little more effort and thought. Like, I'll work out and then I'll be like, oh, but for this video I'm going to shoot right now, I'm going to put a bright top on. And I'm going to step outside instead of being in my dark basement, right? You've got to think these things through and take the time. And it goes without saying, you have to be investing in your personal development and your social media training, okay? Again, that's a whole training in and of itself, and I'm putting in one bullet, but you've got to be filling your brain and training your brain for success so that you really are putting out valuable content there, because it's the thoughts that you're having, right? And the social media training. Shalene's got amazing social media training. Mari Smith, Melanie Duncan, Amy Porterfield, just to name a few. And lastly, you have to have patience. It takes time to develop a brand. I cringe when new coaches say to me, well, Jenelle, I'm just going to try this for a few months, see how it goes. Like, that's like saying I'm going to have a child, see how he does for a couple months. See if he can walk and act like an adult. It's crazy. You can't see if your business is going to work in a couple months. This takes time, so have patience. And I know a lot of you might feel like you're a slave to your social media, or it can be. You really want to recycle and reuse content, go back and use old content, have your Pinterest link to a video that you already did for Instagram anyways, but it links to YouTube. Have things interlinking and overlapping. It's okay. At least it is in my book, because we have families and we have lives, right? If someone's seeing it all, they need to get a life, right? Schedule your like page posts. I've got some posts that are scheduled now because I'm like, look, I'm with my son at this point. I'm getting him ready for school or whatever, and I don't want to be like, oh, I really should post right now. So I schedule some things and hire help. And that's, again, another training in of itself. But don't try and do all this by yourself. There's lots of, elance.com, there's college students, there's lots of people that will help you with some things that take you too long to do. Invest. Even if you're not making the money yet, invest. Believe in yourself, believe in the business. Lastly, I want to show you this video, motivationgrid.com, and I just hope that it emphasizes to you what you have right now and how much you can do with who you are right now and what you have to offer. And we put this video at the end because I cried. I cried during this video, and I can't usually talk afterwards. It moves me, and I hope it moves you.
There's an old African proverb that says, if there's no enemy within, the enemy outside can do us no harm. You don't have to personally be perfect. Are you hearing me? There are those of you right now, you should have cut a CD. You should have wrote a book. You should have got in school and got that degree. You should have started your own business. There's so many things you should have done. You should have done, but you didn't do it because you're scared. You believe that you said scared of what? I ain't scared. You aren't scared. You aren't scared. You're scared of failure. You're scared to make a mistake. You're scared that you're not perfect. And I'm telling you today, you ain't got to be perfect. Are you hearing what I'm saying? You don't have to be perfect to get what you want, to do what you want, to have what you want, to be what you want. You don't have to be perfect. It's a lie.
There will never be a point in your life where it's the right time to do a great thing. If you're waiting for that perfect moment, that perfect timing, it's not going to happen. You know what you have to do? You have to create the perfect time and the perfect opportunity and the perfect situation.
So a lot of people become comfortable. They stop growing. They stop wanting anything. They become satisfied. People getting ready to go to jobs that they don't like. Jobs that are making them sick. You see, when you're not pursuing your goal, you are literally committing spiritual suicide. When you have some goal out here that you're stretching for and reaching for that takes you out of your comfort zone, you'll find out some talents and abilities you have that you didn't know you have. When the messenger of misery visits you, what are you going to do? What will keep you in the game?
There are things that you think you'll never need to know, that you may only need to know one time in your life, but that could save your life because you had that knowledge.
Unless you attempt to do something beyond that which you've already mastered, you will never grow. What is it that you looked at some point in time and you decided that you couldn't do it? That you talked yourself out of it?
You're waiting on your next door neighbor to make it happen for you. It may not happen. If you're waiting on your mother or your father, they may be so ancient in their thinking that they don't understand this opportunity that you have. And if you're waiting on them, it may never get done. You don't beg average people to be phenomenal. You don't beg good people to be phenomenal. You just are phenomenal, and you will attract phenomenal.
What reason can you remember that you can call on, that you can reach on, that can make you get back up? Find that reason.
If you're not where you are, if you're not where you want to be, if you don't have what you want to have, if you're not where you think you should be at this particular place, it has nothing to do with the system, but it has everything to do with the fact that you're not making the sacrifice.
So I just hope that you realize the huge opportunity that you have with this business and you get after it. Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jenelle Summer.